Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle, happening every week. And this week it's on Sunday because life. Life happens, right? So I'm your host, Leslie Klein, and this is where we raise our vibration together so we can all thrive. And today's gathering comes at a very powerful turning point as we reflect on the Capricorn full moon, which is happening tomorrow. And we stepped into a new cycle of insight, release, and realignment. Let's take a breath, settle in, and begin. And I love to begin with the astrology to kind of know where the planets are, where what sign the sun is in, what's going on, because this does impact us. So the sun entered the sign of Cancer on June 21st, which is also considered the beginning of summer. So Cancer, the sign of Cancer asks, what truly matters? Where do I belong? What nourishes my heart? How can I care for myself and those I love? That's kind of the energy of Cancer. And so these are some of the key words that go along with the sign of Cancer. Cancer is a very nurturing sign, very intuitive. It's a water sign. It's also very compassionate, very protective. Think of the crab. The crab is the animal associated with the sign of Cancer. So you have that protective covering of the shell. It's also very emotionally aware. Cancerian people are very usually used to and comfortable with they're feeling their feelings, sharing their feelings, and they feel a lot. Again, it's a water sign, and the water signs tend to do with the energy and the emotion of love. Also, cancers are very loyal and family oriented, very homebodies. They like, developing their home and being at home and having that nurturing place. So we had the summer solstice just last week on last Sunday. And the summer solstice is one of the most powerful energetic turning points of the year. It marks the longest day and the shortest night in the northern hemisphere, and it's the opposite in the southern hemisphere, of course. This is also when the sun goes into Cancer. So, and Amber is asking a question in the chat. Aries is a fire sign, correct? Yes. And again, let me put a disclaimer out here. I am not an astrologer, but I do follow it, the basics of astrology, which we all can do. And I share that with you so that you can get a general sense of the energies that are happening in the cosmos from the point of, and the study and art and science of astrology. So this is a time of renewal and rebirth, summer solstice that we're in. It's also a time of abundance and growth. You can see it in nature. Everything is starting to bloom. The summer solstice is like the full moon for the sun. The sun's new moon would be like the winter solstice when it's the longest night, shortest daylight, and then we come to the summer solstice, and that's when we have the longest day and the shortest night. So the light is the point. We have more light. Okay, so this is also a time of abundance and growth, like I said, spiritual illumination because of the light, gratitude for life's blessings, connection with nature for sure. And it's a great time to set the intentions for the second half of the year because we've already, we're in the first we've just completed the first 6 months of 2026, which was the year of the fire horse, according to the Chinese astrology. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So we looked at the moon again in the sign of Cancer. So we have that nurturing energy, and this will be for the next month or so until like the 20th or 21st of July when we go into Leo. But right now, this is where the sun is. And so we're in the waxing moon phase of the moon, right? So the moon, we're actually in the full moon period. The full moon is tomorrow, actually, at 7. Oops. At 7. Sorry. Let's see. We'll be talking about Mercury retrograde in just a minute. So the full moon is tomorrow at 7:56 p.m. in the sign of Capricorn. So that gives a different flavor to that full moon because Capricorns are very um, work oriented, very task oriented, accomplish a lot. It's about getting things done. So full moons represent culmination, illumination, and release. And since Capricorn asks us to reflect on our purpose, our responsibilities, and the legacy that we're building. And so this is a wonderful time to celebrate how far you've come while letting go of anything that's keeping you from your highest potential. And we'll talk more about this or it'll be addressed in the meditation we're going to do today. Um, so, recap the Capricorn full moon invites us to harvest the fruits of our hard work, celebrate our accomplishments, and release what no longer serves us. This is also known as the strawberry moon because the Native American people and in the spirituality of Native Americans, each month was given a name of as to what that moon, and it represented what was happening in nature, really. And so now is when all the strawberries are blooming, or getting ready to harvest, and I can see it on the strawberry plants I have. So it's known as the strawberry moon. And then the next lunation is the new moon, which will happen on July 14th. That will be in the sign of Cancer, and we'll talk more about that next week. So after this full moon, we will be moving into the waning phase of the moon, but let's not get ahead of ourselves because we're focusing on the full moon today. And also, dun dun dun, Mercury retrograde also starts tomorrow on the 29th. And it kind of got away from me with the crazy things that have been happening in my life this last month. But we have a pre-shadow and a post-shadow effect of the Mercury retrograde. So you start feeling it about a week to 7 days, 7 days, a week to 10 days prior to Mercury going retrograde. And this makes sense. Now it makes sense for all the little blips and little things that haven't quite gone so smoothly this last week. And again, because of this Mercury retrograde, the pre-shadow, we start feeling it. So now we've got from June 29th till July 23rd when we're in the Mercury retrograde. And as I've talked before about Mercury retrograde, this is a time where we want to do anything with re in it, revisit, refurbish, renovate, refinance, anything with re. It's where we're taking our back burner projects, our projects that have been sitting there that we've been procrastinating on. And this Mercury retrograde period is a time to kind of catch up on all those projects we've sat on the side, back burner projects, and like get those things done. That's the way to use the energy of a Mercury retrograde. So it's not a time to start new things. It's a time to revisit and kind of clean up projects that haven't been finished. Okay. And we'll talk more about it as we're going through the Mercury retrograde. So now the planets also go into different signs. And so Mercury will actually be in the sign of Cancer as the sun is also in the sign of Cancer. So this energy turns us inward and becomes very deeply emotional, intuitive, and reflective. That's how this energy will kind of impact us. So this is not a time to push forward quickly or force clarity. This, will force clarity through logic alone. It's a time to slow down. It's a time to listen to what you've actually been feeling beneath the surface. This is where old memories might come up, conversations from the past may resurface. I also find that during Mercury retrograde periods, I end up seeing old friends come up, or I end up seeing, they show up, or I end up seeing them. So people from the past, you end up revisiting them too. So they usually show up too, which is always a wonderful thing. So, this is where emotional patterns within the home, the family, and close relationships may feel amplified. So the key, is working with these energies in being aware, right? So that is what's happening with Mercury retrograde and the astrology that we're going to talk about today. So let's shift from the tides of the cosmos and turn our attention to the unfolding story here on Earth regarding UAP, which is unidentified anomalous phenomenon, formerly known as UFOs, right? All right, so a lot has been happening, and it's been happening for a while, building up, but to note, I want to make a note of the last 2 months and how much has been happening. So I'm going to quickly go through some highlights since May 8th. May 8th was when Dr. Greer had his 25th anniversary of the Disclosure Project that he started 25 years ago. May 8th was a Friday, and this was also the first drop of the UAP files from the War Department. And war.gov/UFO is the website where all these files have been being dropped. On May 22nd, this is when Representative Eric Burleson filed some interrogatories to the MITRE Corporation. And so that's asking them questions, asking them to give the Congress certain information. Then on May 22nd, same day, we actually had another release, drop number 2 from the war.gov website of files. The first tranche was about 161 or 162 files, but over 1 billion people went to that website to look at it. So that's shows you how many people are interested in this. Then on May 28th, the aliens.gov website launch, which came from the White House. But that was a big disappointment because they are confusing ET life with immigration. So I have a little change.org petition that if that kind of rubbed you the wrong way too, there's something you can do about it. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Then on June 9th is when there was a press conference on the Hill, the Capitol Hill. And this is where David Grush and several other people from the UAP caucus, representatives, James Fox, Leslie Kean from the New York Times. James Fox is a film documentarian. And basically the message for that press conference was asking and re-asking the White House for the files to continue allowing the release. I think it's called Pursue Presidential Release of the Files. That acronym stands for something. But basically, it's just the White House said back in February, release the files. So the War Department finally started doing that. So that was on the 9th. We had the Capitol Hill press conference. Then 3 days later, on June 12th, is when the movie from Steven Spielberg, Disclosure Day, premiered. And I think it was $44 billion forgive me, I'm not going to quote, but I remember 44. I don't remember. It was probably million tickets were sold that first weekend. And then also on the 12th, then we had our third tranche of the UAP files from the War Department dropped as well. Then 2 days later, on Sundays, which continues this today and next week, Danny Sheehan from the New Paradigm Institute, he's hosting the Sunday UAP question and answer series. It's a Zoom where you can put your questions out there and listen to the discussion. He's doing this to help with the potential ontological shock that people may feel when they watch the movie and start coming to the conclusion or accepting the fact that alien or ETs, I like to call them, extraterrestrials are real. The government has craft, has bodies, have been communicating with them, and If for people who haven't been paying attention, this can be very shocking. So Danny's doing this series to help us kind of digest this information. Then, about 10 days later, on June 25th, just this past Thursday, there was a special disclosure forum that was held in Washington, D.C. And I'll get you the link where you can watch the whole thing. It was 7.5 hours long. And I did do a restream of it, and we did some commentary when there were breaks and things like that. And I do have some notes, but I'll tell you a little bit more about the forum then. But the fact that that was held was big. They gave awards out to the representatives and the whistleblowers, and they gave a grant to Matthew Brown and Dylan Borland, who have a vanguard of um, nonprofit that helps whistleblowers with coming out and the issues, where they might need money to help them um, share their information. So that was on the 25th. And then this Tuesday, on June 30th, there's an MK Ultra congressional hearing. So that's going to be a big one. And I will also be restreaming that. It starts at 10 in the morning, and I have more information a little bit later in the show, but I'm just trying to give you an overall picture of all these things that have happened over the last 2 months that are part of this UAP disclosure. So that's happening. And then 2 days later is World UFO Day. So July 2nd is when the Roswell crash happened, and in New Mexico, and this has become the World UFO Day. And so I'm doing something special with the Disclosure Dialogues. I have 5 experiencers that I'll be moderating a panel discussion about all of these UAP reveals that have happened these last 2 months, especially with the movie and this kind of thing. So that's going to be very exciting. It's at 8 o'clock, and I'll give you more information in a minute here. So with all of this, all this intensity happening these last 2 months, I think who knows what's coming up after that, but there's a lot to digest here, and I'm here to help you do that. So let's talk about the UEI. The United Experiencers Initiative is a group that Natalie Hill, who is going to be one of the panelists on my Thursday World UFO Day, she started, it was led to create this UEI organization to help experiencers kind of get together, empower themselves, in the future too, to have legislation to protect experiencers and this kind of thing. So I want to share her, let's see here, share her petition that she did on, let me make this bigger, petition on change.org, and I'll give you the link in a minute. So we're up to 139 signatures so far, so we're working our way up. And basically, she doesn't like the aliens.gov website, which many of us don't. And she has her explanation here as to why. So if you have the inclination to sign this petition, the way you can get to it is just go to this tinyurl.com/capital GVTV alien gov petition. And that's where you can sign the petition. It's very easy, and you could even sign it anonymously. So feel free to do that, because every little bit helps, All right, so now let's talk about Citizens for Disclosure. So I wanted to share with you a little bit more about Danny's event. Here is the link. It's https://ufos.pro/Sunday series. And so the third one is happening today at 3 o'clock. So just in 40 minutes or so, I'll be done with the show before then, because I want to attend to, I registered. And then the last Sunday he's doing it is next week. So just go to this, link, and you can sign up. So, And if you're interested more about the New Paradigm Institute, this is their website, newparadigminstitute.org, where you can become a volunteer. You could just sign up for the newsletter. Um, any of those things you can do by going to that website. All right, so let's move on. Oh, and here is, I didn't add Danny's. Let's see if you can see it a little bit better. This is about his Sunday conversations. All right. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the special presentation of the disclosure dialogues that I'm doing. Um, what I did do already this past Thursday was that coverage of the 7.5 hour event. They did have some audio difficulties in the beginning, but you can go to their website, and it's forum.disclosure.org, and see the whole thing. Or you can go to my channel and catch some of our uh, parts of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and edit it, but there is the website for the forum. And, what happened on the 25th is this forum brought together researchers, former government officials, scientists, advocacy leaders, and all to discuss the current state of UAP transparency efforts, that are happening right now. This event focused on whistleblower testimony, pretty much, the need for stronger congressional oversight, and the growing push to declassify historical intelligence records and standardize reporting on UAP incidents. So that's where you can find that. And, Representative Anna Paulina Luna, she heads she is the leader of the House Oversight Task Force on the declassification of federal secrets. Try to say that 3 times fast. So she was the one that hosted the event a few weeks ago, but also this Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning, they will be doing a congressional hearing on MK Ultra. And you may have heard of MK Ultra. If you haven't, I'm going to share with you what that means. And the specific title of this event is called Mind Control and Accountability: Uncovering the Truth of the CIA's MK Ultra Experiments. So MK Ultra was a covert CIA program run primarily during the 1950s and 60s. It was officially authorized in 1953, and its aim was to research mind control, interrogation, and behavior modification techniques. And so for this event on Tuesday, there's going to be a couple of witnesses: Stephen Kinzer, who is a senior fellow in the International and Public Affairs at Brown University. Also, Tom O'Neill, he's an investigative journalist and author of Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s. So if you have an interest in watching this live, I mean, of course, there will be a replay, but I will be doing again, a restream and commentary in between their presentations with some of the other Citizens for Disclosure volunteers. So just go to tinyurl.com/capital D, MK Ultra, and that will get you to the live that I'm doing for this Disclosure Days, a special presentation. So also under the guise of the Disclosure Dialogues, I am, as I said earlier, hosting celebrating World UFO Day at 8 o'clock on July 2nd. And here is the link that you can go to, tinyurl.com/disclosure dialogue 10. And this will get you directly to the World UFO Day, where I will have 5 different experiencers: Natalie Hill, Emma Elizabeth, Gary Borsch, Jared Taylor, who's a former or retired Army medic, and also Kevin Briggs, who channels the Council of 8. So it's going to be a fantastic discussion this Thursday. And we're going to talk about all that's happened these last 2 months, because it's been a lot. Then also, I've been working on the Galactic Good Vibes ET Experiencer series. And so, if you're interested in that, part two, I'm still working on part three, and I have to apologize, but you can still watch parts one and two with Natalie. They're long. The first one's about 45 minutes long, second one about half an hour, third one probably be about half an hour. So you just go to tinyurl.com/G capital GGV, then Hill 2. And if you want to see the part one, it's just Hill 1. So that's all that's happening with all of the news from UAP disclosure and what's been going on with the cosmos. So let us now take a moment to tune in within. And so I've started doing these guided meditations later in the show. Please hang around. It's only about 3 or 4 minutes. And then after that, we'll do the tip of the week to raise our vibration. So let me get our music going, and I will guide us in a meditation, a short meditation. And let me get our music going here. So, if you are operating heavy equipment or driving, do not do this meditation. Watch the replay and do it then. But if you can do it now, go ahead and get relaxed and take a deep breath in. So let's take a few minutes for yourself, right? Find a comfortable position and gently close your eyes if that feels right. And take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and completely exhale. Again, breathe in calm and breathe out anything that no longer serves you. Take one more deep breath in, inhaling peace and exhaling tension. And allow your breathing to settle into a natural rhythm. Now, imagine roots extending from the soles of your feet deep into the earth, grounding you in strength, stability, and support. Feel yourself fully present, fully here, exactly where you're meant to be. Bring your awareness now to your heart. Picture a soft, golden light glowing there, steady, warm, and alive. With each breath, it expands through your chest, your body, and gently outward. Just a week ago, we crossed the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, a peak of light, a reminder that your inner light is always available, even as the seasons shift. Now let's turn our attention toward tomorrow's full strawberry moon in Capricorn. Full moons are moments of illumination. They reveal what has grown, what is complete, and what is ready to be released. Imagine yourself standing beneath this luminous light, this luminous moon with silver light pouring gently over you. Ask yourself quietly, what am I going to celebrate? A goal completed? A lesson learned? A burden lifted? Or simply how far you've come? Pause and acknowledge it. Now ask, what am I ready to release? self doubt, pressure, control, old expectations, anything you no longer need to carry. Now imagine placing these things into a bowl of light at your feet. One by one, it dissolves upward into the moonlight, leaving you lighter, clearer, and freer. Capricorn reminds us that true growth is not only about achievement, but alignment, integrity, and purpose. And also the quiet strength of becoming who you are meant to be. Now, gently turn your awareness towards tomorrow as the full moon reaches its peak. Mercury is also beginning its retrograde journey. One invites release, the other invites reflection. And together, they remind us not everything is meant to move forward quickly. Some things are meant to be understood more deeply. So this isn't a time to rush. It's a time to pause, to listen, to observe, and to trust what rises to the surface. Silently repeat, I release what no longer serves my highest good. I welcome clarity through reflection. I trust divine timing. I honor my progress. I move into wisdom and intention. Now feel your heart light expanding again, growing beyond your body into your space, your community, and outward to the world. This is a quiet reminder that your inner state matters because it ripples outward more than you know. Take one slow, deep breath in and hold gently. Then exhale. Carry this calm clarity into the days ahead. As the full moon lights the sky and Mercury begins its retrograde path, may you find strength in release, wisdom in reflection, and peace in trusting your timing. Now, when you're ready, gently return. Bring movement back to your body and open your eyes. You are grounded, you are clear, and you are aligned. So how was that for you? I hope it was relaxing. The other day, I listened to the summer solstice meditation, and that was really helpful to listen to. I enjoyed it. So so hopefully you'll come back to these meditations. I have one every week since the beginning of the year. Focus on different things, but you can listen to them anytime and just get a few moments to just kind of tune in and go within and find that peace, because with the world going crazy like it is, it's important for us to hold the peace by going within. So welcome back, everyone. And so now we have the opportunity to do a little oracle spread. Now, I've been doing a spread since the beginning of the year. My idea was a one card spread on January, two card spread in February, and keep going. But now we're up to July, and a seven-card spread. It takes so long to do. So I've kind of decided to just pull a card, just one card for a message for right now. And so the deck that I'm using is called Trust Your Vibes Oracle Cards by Sonia Choquette. You can get them at my Amazon store. Just go to good-vibes.tv to see all of the different books and oracles and things that I recommend on my Amazon store. So we're going to just pick a card to ask Spirit for guidance for all of us who are watching either live or on the replay. And look what I got. The card is called Dance in the Fire, card number 34. So I'm going to quickly read this and see what message we're getting from Spirit. So, Dance in the Fire. Your intuitive perceptions are accurate, even if others challenge you or try to convince you otherwise. Do not be deterred by outside influences, no matter how persuasive, for it will be a mistake. It may feel reckless, even crazy, to trust your guidance, but this is precisely what you need to do. It will leave you feeling unstoppable. Your inner light is expanding, and your spirit is ready to take the lead. Trust your inner guidance and commit to what you believe in. Move forward with total confidence, no matter what anyone around you says. Dance in the face and fire of others' judgment and disapproval, for you will encounter plenty of it, but don't let it cause you to doubt yourself. You are being tested by the universe. Any pushback is an opportunity to exercise your strength and personal authority. You are finished following and are ready to lead. So dance in the fire. Yeah, so put in the comments if that hit a bell for you or not. I feel like I'm dancing in the fire by, covering all this UAP stuff, also, putting myself out there, on the different social media. And, there are trolls out there, right? And sometimes I get comments like I did last Thursday. There were some comments and I just had to ignore them. But but it's a test, and so it's important for us to dance in the fire, regardless of what people say, to stay true to our convictions of what it is that we believe in and what purposes we are out there trying to fulfill. All right. So lastly, we've got the tip of the week to raise your vibration. And so last week's tip of the week was to practice micro moments of gratitude. Now, most people think that gratitude takes a lot of effort by writing out a journal or pages of affirmations, but you can actually use this concept of moments of gratitude where you just take 10 seconds and pause and appreciate something you're grateful for. It could be a sound of a loved one's voice, a hug, a comfortable bed, a snuggle from your dog, a good cup of tea or coffee, a beautiful sunset or sunrise, a text from a friend, whatever it is. Look for those things to be grateful for, the tiny little things, and be grateful for like 10 seconds. And as you do that throughout the day, it's amazing how, life changes, and then you end up drawing and attracting more things that you can be grateful for. And that's how we live in the good vibe zone, right? Okay, so it was last week's tip of the week. Now, this week's tip of the week is to complete one unfinished task. So we have this Capricorn full moon, which is all about completion and accountability. So we're tuning into that energy by just finishing one thing especially if it's something you've been postponing. You create a space for new opportunities and head into Mercury's retrograde season with greater clarity and less mental clutter. So sometimes raising your vibration is not just about adding more to your plate, it's about clearing what's been weighing you down. And that's a great way to use the Mercury retrograde energy these next 3 weeks. So look for those tasks that are unfinished that needs to be done. Mine is getting episode 3 of Natalie's so that is my thing, and I'm working on it today after I finish Danny's Q&A, and I'm doing it. So it's going to be done. It's done. But yeah, so I totally know what it's like to not, you know, do what we say we're going to do and postpone and procrastinate and this kind of thing. And it's frustrating, but it's important to forgive ourselves. And each day is a new opportunity to grow and be better and do the things that we want to do. So take charge. So if you've enjoyed today's show, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. And I will see you next week. Have a beautiful full moon. May you have just enjoy all the blessings in your life and really focus on those and enjoy this next Mercury retrograde. It's going to be a good one. Make the most of it. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace out, everyone.